Hello, good evening, and welcome to another installment of Kult Downfall. I'm Zachary Vaudo, your storyteller, and it is my pleasure and privilege to bring you, once again, this module from Cult Screams and Whispers. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce you to our players for the evening, starting with Steve.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve, and I will be playing Alex, the twin who had a bit of a bad dream last episode.
And now over to Lex.
Hi, I'm Lex. I'll be playing Audrey, the ex, who had a bad day in general.
And now to Samantha.
Hi, I'm Samantha, and I'm going to be playing Tori. And you know what? I'm just peachy.
How about Cormac?
Hi, I'm Patrick, and I am playing Cormac, the student, and he had a relatively okay night last night, I guess.
And finally, Professor Jones.
I'm Brennan. I'm playing Ozymandias Jones, the professor, and my day was solid because everybody left me my bagels.
So, before we begin, I want to remind everybody once again that this is mature content, more mature than we typically get into. As this is Cult, many things are on the table, all levels of depravity, all levels of spooky, all levels of discomfort. Our players have the ability to pause the game at any point that they wish. You will not notice because we will have edited it, but we will take as many breaks as we need to depending on the severity of the scene. Much like you will not notice if we pause, we will never know if you pause. So by all means, do so if you need to. This is for your entertainment, as dark as it may be. Players, are you ready to begin Act 2? Wonderful. So our story is set. At Georgia State University, 5 people connected by one missing person, a man named Noah, who over the last 2 months seemed to slowly spiral out, until one day he was gone, leaving disturbing mystery in his wake. With Noah missing, his twin brother Alex has assembled those who he believes can help, and finds more unsettling things than he bargained for. The group saw him most recently. They have clues to his whereabouts, and everything that they discover unnerves them more and more. Journaling and possessions of an erotic and depraved nature, a mysterious woman who seemingly leaves degradation in her wake, and a last testament describing things that seem to penetrate the very minds and souls of those who read it. These first steps of investigation have been no easy feat for these 5, with secrets abound and uncertain surroundings, not to mention the strange visions. But that was yesterday. Today is a new day. With a new day comes new opportunities, for better or for worse. Audrey, you've woken up this morning before Alex. It was difficult getting to sleep for you last night. The whole day was, well, you knew that it wasn't going to be easy, engaging in looking for Noah. But what you uncovered, what you encountered, meeting the spitting image of him in the form of his brother, who is now asleep in your living room, not to mention whatever flickered through your mind when you were reading those words from Noah's paper. Sleep did not come easy, and the vision did not quite fade. So you wake, a little worse for wear, and with something gnawing at your mind just a bit. It's that suitcase. You were very adamant not looking at it. You almost didn't want it at your place, but it seemed like there was limited options. So to your place it went. It absolutely was not going to go in your room. It stayed out in the living room with Alex, but the initial shock has worn off and curiosity begins to set in. Curiosity or a need to confirm all of the worst things, all of the worst suspicions. I need to dig and see if there's anything that you can understand about what happened to Noah. The suitcase is in the living room where Alex is still solidly asleep. It's closed, but not locked. It is available to be sorted through.
Yeah, I would like to do that. If possible, I want to sneak out there and take it into my room because I don't want to be like sitting on the floor going through it when Alex wakes up.
Okay. That is easy enough to do. The man is quite asleep. So you get it back into your room. Do you close the door or leave it open just to hear if he wakes up?
I'll leave it open like a crack. More because I don't totally trust Alex. So if he wakes up, I want to hear him. And if he decides he wants to come and try to peep on me, I want to be able to catch him.
It's understandable. As you go to retrieve the suitcase, could you make me your roll plus perception?
11.
Your toe touches something as you pick up the suitcase and start to walk back, the suitcase being next to the couch. It crinkles, a plastic sound sticking out from just underneath the couch.
I'm gonna crouch down and see if I can fish out whatever this is.
It makes a bit more noise as you do, but it's easy enough to do so. It's a plastic shopping bag. Little damp.
I'm just gonna kind of leave it there.
Okay. You can get the suitcase back into your room easily, and you can open the suitcase easily. And once again, you are presented with the display. The collection of toys, some more tame than others. Collection of books, the folded up pieces of paper, 2 in particular, and the journal.
Audrey is going to go through every square inch of this now that I don't have 4 other people watching my reactions and trying to form their own opinions. I'm going to very carefully go through this piece by piece.
That's understandable. You take the books by Marquis de Sade out and put them in a stack next to the suitcase as you pull out toy after toy, and the contents seem to get worse the more you pull out, and the definition of toy becomes a little more subjective the more that you pull out. Sex toys at first, and then some look like they cause more harm than good, but they're still obviously for a purpose. Then the more obviously harm-giving devices, cat o' nine tails, small knives. There's rope. It's very coarse, though. It's not a silk rope that you would normally use. This rope feels like it would bite if you were tied into it.
Is it the same kind of rope that I have experience with Noah?
Fortunately not. Or perhaps unfortunately. It's a bit hard to say. You thought you'd gotten the worst of Noah, but you didn't get most of the things that you see and hear. Is it better or worse that there's even more to your ex-boyfriend than you thought?
Worse. It just means I was even luckier than I realized.
That it does, but it doesn't change what happened. It just means that it only could have gone downhill from there. You're continuing to go through the suitcase.
Yep.
So as you go through the suitcase, you pull out the couple of folded up pieces of paper. One looks like Noah was drafting up something and crossing out over and over again, just a scratch note paper. It looks similar to the essay that you read the other day. And the other is for a sex shop that is down towards Armor Drive, little ways away from here.
Huh. I'm gonna, I guess, take note of it and probably kind of just slip that in a pocket or in a purse for possible later investigation. Maybe they know who he was there with or what he was doing, or...
It's possible. I mean, for all you know, what's in here could have come from there.
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense to store them all together if that were the case. And if these include items that you've never seen before, then somebody definitely saw Noah after you did. The only thing left is the journal.
I'm gonna go through that again, look for stuff we missed, clues, ripped out paper, even try that, that thing where you put a piece of paper down and do the pencil over it, something.
Okay. For that, go ahead and roll and add your, what's for investigation? Reason.
12.
All right. Doing the pencil thing yields nothing, but there's still plenty of things to read. You're going through the excerpts that were being flipped through the other day. But of course, yesterday, eventually you stopped. Today, there's more. You flip the page. The rocking motion reminds me of a time before everything. I float, succumbing to it. My eyes open and I drift blissfully through the chaos of creation. My mind buzzes, fusing with the infinite oneness that surrounds me. The man on top of me grunts and the movement stops, and I'm back at that cheap hotel, him dripping down my thighs. Do you continue to turn the page?
Yes.
I went to the room. I told myself I wouldn't, but it was too strong. I couldn't resist. It was stupid, but so good. I was there for an hour. I didn't think anybody would show up, but they did. First, the man with the gold ring, and then 2, 5, 10 people. I lost count eventually, and nobody said a word. They just took me, had their way with me on that shitty mattress against the wall, pushed me, pulled me, bound me. I had so many people inside of me. It felt degrading. It felt filthy. But each and every one of them brought me closer to something that I can't describe. Every ending was a moment of clarity that I'd never experienced before. I feel so close to understanding everything. I may have to go back soon. Do you turn the page?
Yes.
This one's different than the other excerpts you've read. You don't have to make a roll for this because it's jarringly different. I screamed and screamed and screamed when my body was being torn apart. The nurse kept telling me to push, and I did. With all that was left of me, I did. The machine beeped next to my ear, inducing a soothing trance. Your body is your prison, I heard it whisper, between each beep. Escape. Now. There are no more pages to turn.
And that one's still written in what appears to be Noah's handwriting for all purposes?
It is disturbingly, unmistakably his handwriting.
Huh. And assuming there's nothing else, I'm gonna just pack it all back into the suitcase.
Not unless you feel like reading the writings of Marquis de Sade for a while until Alex wakes up.
No, but Audrey will take the book and do that thing where you flip it upside down and like brush the pages to make sure there's nothing stuck in it or hidden.
There is folded up a piece of paper that is a bookmark, and you pull it out, you see that it is a smaller flyer for the same sex shop. Apparently he's been there multiple times.
Yeah, okay. Then yeah, I pack it all back up except for the original flyer that I pocketed already.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to sneak the suitcase back out by Alex, like I totally didn't spend my morning doing this.
Okay. Alex, can you roll, add your coolness for me?
All right.
Actually, you know what? No, add your willpower.
I was going to say.
I'm thinking of the situation in particular. Add your willpower.
So that is a 10 to 4, and willpower is 2, so that's 16.
Okay. You slowly begin to wake, but it's not because of the sound. It's a slow tightness in your abdomen. It almost feels like a cramp. It's not sharp enough to jar you out of sleep, possibly wrenching your muscle, hurting yourself more. But it's uncomfortable as you shift and slowly wake up to Audrey in the living room. You don't see her putting the suitcase back, but she's in the room with you.
In the shoulders, are they still, like, would I have had time to go to like Audrey's washroom or even duck out to like a local pharmacy or whatever just to grab stuff for the shoulders? Just
you went straight back to sleep afterwards. So if you were going to go check something beyond just touching your shoulder to check, you would have to do that now.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just good morning, and then I'll like head towards the washroom.
Okay. Audrey, Alex woken up. It's a little weird. You're used to waking up next to that face, but not like this, and not that man.
So Audrey kind of gives a start when he says good morning, and hey, morning. And I don't make eye contact as he heads to the washroom. We're both privately doing the...
Absolutely. All right, so Alex, you head to the washroom.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like, I guess, take off my shirt entirely and like check out the shoulder, see if.
Cool. What are you checking out on your shoulder?
There was the kind of dug in claw marks.
There was,
I believe. There isn't.
You don't see anything.
So I'm just double check my hands, see if there's anything that was like any dry blood, because I noticed blood on my hand last night.
Why would there be dry blood on your hand?
That's weird. That is so weird.
The only thing that's wrong with you right now is the stomach ache.
I'm gonna open the cabinet, see if there's any like Pepto, anything like that I could.
There's like half a bottle of Pepto and there's Malox.
Yeah, let's see if Pepto takes care of it.
Okay.
It probably won't.
Okay. It takes a while, obviously, to work, so you won't know right now.
Yeah. So
you have successfully examined your shoulder in the washroom.
I'll head back out, I guess.
Okay. And you both meet back up in the living room.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry about yesterday.
It was a high stress day. We were all on edge.
It's a little weird.
Which part?
Pretty much all of it.
So what's your plan from here?
I have no idea. I guess we can try to find that woman wherever she happened to be.
The woman who nobody knows her name and no one knows where she came from and no one knows where she's going to be next.
Yeah, that's the one.
That'll be easy. We'll Google.
I mean, wait, we probably could Google. We could do like a image search.
We could probably do that. Okay. So did we end up with an actual like physical image of this person? I don't recall all of a
I
sudden.
don't think so. I think
when you were going through photos that Noah had sent to you from the party, you did see her in one of the photos. It's not just a straight on shot of her, but it was pointed out that was in fact the woman. So you're not going to get a direct picture of her, more of a crowd photo.
Well, I mean, it's not like an existing image, so we can't reverse image search it, and I'm not secretly a private investigator, so I can't run some kind of facial analysis program. But there are some other places we could check out.
Yeah, we could, I don't know, bring those photos around to check and see if anybody knows where she could possibly be, where she goes to, because there's a lot of lacking information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the parties that Tori and Cormac were talking about. We could ask around on campus. I also, when we were going through the suitcase yesterday, I saw like a receipt in there for a store. Maybe he went in there and bought some of that stuff with her.
Yeah. I mean, we could check it out, I suppose.
Well, it's that or hope that Professor Jones successfully goes through all 8,000 student photos on the entire campus, if she's a student.
I don't know if she is.
I feel like probably not, or this would have happened before, or someone would recognize her, right?
Yeah, we should probably do that after. We should probably like eat something, because I seem to recall you were saying that you hadn't really eaten.
Yes, and then I had tots. There's coffee in the kitchen. That is plenty of food.
It's really not.
Are you not in college?
No.
Oh, you'll learn to survive on just coffee.
I mean, that doesn't seem like a good idea.
There's probably like a cup noodles in the pantry.
I'm going to check in the kitchen.
There are 2 cup noodles in the pantry.
Oh, sweet. So
That's about it.
I'm assuming, this being Spartan college living, that the coffee maker is the only way to heat up water.
You would be correct. It's a nice coffee maker, though.
Yeah, I'm going to put water in the coffee maker and no coffee and just set it up so that it boils through.
I do take that back. There is a stove, but you'd have to get a pot out, fill it with water, put it on the stove, all to put it in a styrofoam cup.
Yeah. I'm not going to do that.
No.
The coffee maker's easier. That way I don't have to monitor it.
That makes the most sense to me.
Am I still feeling gut-wise? Like, has the Pepto kicked in? Have I defeated the demon with Pepto-Bismol?
It's still taking a bit. You've only been talking for a few minutes since you tried, so it's not quite gone yet, and it is still hanging there. This weird pang in your stomach. Your shoulders start to feel a little sore just from the tensed muscles in your abdomen. It's all sort of connected together at that point.
How did you sleep last night?
Not good. How did you sleep last night?
Like shit. Had a weird dream about that particular woman, so I definitely want to track her down.
Did I have weird dreams last night, storyteller, or did I just sleep bad?
You slept bad. You isn't so much bad dreams as it was the inability to stop thinking about everything that you had experienced that day.
Okay. So you're dreaming about her?
Kind of, but it was weird. It was like a super, like, not hot necessarily as in erotic. It was just overpoweringly warm. And there was like, she like, it was kind of surreal. Like she dug some kind of claws or something into my shoulders. And then I think I woke up and I checked my shoulder. Like I touched it and there was blood, but I just checked in the washroom and there's no blood.
Okay, well, at the risk of getting an answer I don't really want after reading all that stuff that Noah wrote, did you like when that happened in the dream?
I'm going to try to subterfuge this one.
We'll call that adding your coolness to act under pressure.
Oh, you mean minusing my coolness?
I guess so, yeah.
Well, that doesn't really
Well,
matter.
I guess it here's the question. Are you attempting to keep stoic and act like nothing is wrong, or are you attempting to convince Audrey of what you're saying?
I'm trying to convince her.
Then I would say add your charisma.
All right. Where'd my charisma go? Oh, +1 instead of -1. Sweet. So now it's 8 instead of a 6.
Ooh.
It still didn't work.
What'd you wind up with? A 6 total?
No, 8 total.
8 total.
I rolled 7.
Okay. Go ahead and answer.
Not really. No.
Does that sound at all believable to me?
Press X to doubt.
It sounds and looks like your boyfriend lying to you.
Why, yes, I would know all of these tells, wouldn't I?
Can you roll me 2d10, please?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's only on the mirror because I'm the twin. I'm the good twin, apparently, that doesn't succumb to demon stuff. Maybe.
I think they call that yet.
Yeah.
That's a 15 for me.
Okay. As I said, it looks and sounds like your boyfriend lying to you. An experience and a memory that you're able to counterbalance with how you currently feel about him and the fact that he's missing. So no, this is not that. This is just another kind of depraved guy, apparently, who got off on some weird shit.
Great.
Alex, was that all that happened in your dream?
Not really. but I'm not going to tell her that.
Okay.
So Audrey just looks him dead in the eye and makes no bones about the fact that she clearly does not believe a single word of this and goes, okay.
Look, okay, that it's some weird writing that I don't know if it affected you when you read any of that, but it had this weird effect
Of giving you weird dreams.
Yes.
Right.
Audrey, the writing didn't give you weird dreams, but whether or not you share this with Alex, you can't deny that something weird happened when you read that writing as well.
I do not share that with Alex, because like I need a because on that sentence.
That's fair.
Because this is being Alex and Noah are getting very samey to Audrey by this point.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah. Maybe my nasty "this all runs in the family" comment was a little more on the nose than I realized. So Audrey just kind of shrugs off the suggestion. I don't know. Maybe it's a twin thing.
I mean, maybe. Like, we did always have a bit of a connection, but it's never been like sharing dreams or anything.
Maybe the same sort of stuff appeals to you both.
Sure. Preferably not. Because that's some weird shit.
Well, I guess we'll find out when we find our mystery woman.
I guess we will. Is that water ready yet?
And we both busy ourselves with things that are not talking to each other.
Absolutely. Before we cut away, Alex, can you roll 2d10 and add your fortitude?
Alrighty. Ooh, 16, and my fortitude is, there it is, +1, so 17.
Okay. Yeah. As you go back to get the water, you smell the noodles, and very briefly, like you feel like your chest and stomach sort of catch, but it turns into more of like a suppressed burp than anything else. Mm-hmm. But the food hopefully will help. We'll see how that goes before you two go investigate what bit of information you have. Perhaps the sex shop that Audrey mentioned.
Noodles in the sex shop.
In the meantime.
Sounds like a Thursday morning.
In the meantime, we're going to cut over to a different part of town where Tori and Cormac have met by request. Tori, Cormac, while you're on your way there individually, could you please just roll 2d10?
That's a 13 for me, storyteller.
Okay.
$17.
Okay. Okay. So you head over relatively uneventful, and you meet on it's not quite a street corner, but it's just sort of a side street where you were both asked to meet, and you show up and you see each other.
Must be work related.
I would assume so. Probably has to do with, I don't know, you inviting unwanted guests to a party.
Look, if we stonewall, it's just gonna make him dig more. If we can at least guide him in, so to speak, might make things a little bit easier so we can control the situation.
What exactly are you asking me to do?
Well, look, we were kind of talking about this last night, weren't we?
Oh, about Audrey becoming the new target?
Or
you?
possibly I work with Alex and you work with her?
Present to.
Aye.
A better idea. Yes.
Just saying, everyone, both her and him, are kind of high stress right now, and it's... If we're careful, we can salvage this mess.
Yes, and I fully intend on doing that. I'm not gonna not present someone.
It's not an option.
No, it's not. Yeah, so one way or the other, there at least one of them has to be presented. We're out of time to try to find someone else. They're perfectly capable of being, I hate the term, but lack of one, lack of another one, groomed, I suppose, for the position.
There's no point in splitting hairs. That's exactly what we're doing.
Cormac, how do you feel about that?
See, the thing about Cormac is, on one hand, he likes the lifestyle. He didn't have access to this kind of living back home in Ireland. But on the other, he's starting to realize that he's getting in a bit over his head with the situation, especially given the recent development with Noah. And he's hoping that this next time is going to be the last time that he's going to have to deal with this.
Tori, how do you feel?
Tori is just really intent on getting one of them presented. She is not going down. No. She knows what the stakes are. They're really high, and she's not willing to lose. To not present someone would mean that she would be in a very bad predicament herself.
Cormac reaches down into his pocket and he offers Tori a hit off of his THC vape. Little pregame.
I'm good, thanks.
Cormac, on the other hand, fully indulges.
Understandably. While you do, a car slows past you, pulling over to the side a little further down the road. And a man gets out that the two of you recognize from your side work. Just gets out, crosses, walks back over to the two of you. He looks very business. But if I could get you both to roll and add your soul into it.
That's a 10 for me.
Okay. You both sort of get roughly the same sensation, which is there's something uncomfortable behind the business presentation. You can't really pinpoint what it is, but this feels weird. This feels a bit more shady which is saying something. But he approaches you anyway. He goes, "Morning."
Morning.
Hi.
You two been busy.
Yeah, you could say
Always
that.
busy. Always busy.
Making new friends.
Friends are good to have.
They are good to have. I guess it's good that you're making new friends since you lost the one that you were making beforehand.
Well, perhaps we'll have enough new friends to replace the one that has wandered.
Possibly with a +1.
That's good. Keep that in your back pocket. But folks back at home base, they're feeling a little particular.
Aye.
So one of the people that you've been hanging out with, I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's not this Noah, because otherwise that would mean that you two were keeping him from us, and that surely is not the case here.
No.
No.
Like
That's the
neither
twin.
of you would make. Oh, there's a twin.
Aye.
Okay.
Noah has a twin.
So I'm assuming if Noah has a twin and Noah is missing, by doing some basic arithmetic, twin is trying to find Noah.
Right.
How is that going?
He's got his teeth in this.
Great.
Definitely is not wanting to be swayed in any other directions or manners.
Aye, and someone from the school's taking an interest too. So
From the
between
school.
Unfortunately.
between the two of them, they're kind of spearheading a thing.
Who from the school? Someone we need to be aware of?
Just someone for whatever reasons took a liking to Noah, and I mean I can't say that I blame him. Noah's that kind of guy, but no, it's
Cormac, you know what my least favorite thing about you is? Maybe it's an Irish thing. I don't really know. I've never been, but it's the way that you flowery talk around the very basic answer to the question that I asked you.
That is very
So-
Irish.
So how about we pretend that you're naturalized here, and you just get to the fucking point of who this is, and do I need to be concerned about him?
It's Professor Ozzy, and I don't think that he's concerned yet. If he
Thank
is,
you,
I will
Tori.
gladly let you know.
Thank you, Tori. This is why you two are paired together. You can learn so much from each other. Sometimes it's a bit more one way. So they've got their teeth into this finding Noah.
Aye.
Yeah.
Run with it.
Say that again.
Run with it.
That was kind of my game plan here, and if between the two of us, we're gonna be in constant communication, and we're gonna do what we can to salvage this mess. But
No, you're not gonna. No. It's not a matter of salvaging the mess. They want you to run with this, and they want you to find Noah.
They
bring
want
him in.
3.
3 is going to look like a nice bonus to you, but they're pretty insistent.
all right,
If
so
they're
No,
looking,
no, wait. Okay, so wait. The girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, she
Yeah.
is prime, super fragile. Could probably break her if you looked at her wrong. Very innocent. Pretty sure she grew up on a prairie somewhere.
great. Is
We
her
don't
does
need
her
Noah.
does her license plate say Noah Vaughn?
No.
Is she secretly Noah Vaughn cross-dressing and just tucking it up real good?
not that we know of. Look, here's all right. Do you want to get down to brass tacks? Here's the fucking problem. Noah went off the goddamn deep end, and it's because of this bird that's been hanging around the parties. All right, like we stopped over to you know Lee, right?
Yeah, he's one of your friends, isn't he?
Right. He hosts some of the shindigs from time to time. Well, look, Lee got down with this gal, and he's not right in the head, and I think the same thing happened to Noah. Noah's fucking gone.
Maybe it was an STD. Maybe she did some kind of weird magic, shitty. All in all, she probably just laced something and it really went to the head and, like, fucked him up. And I'll tell you, Noah is not. He is no longer the sweet, innocent Noah that we presented as.
That's not a concern.
Okay.
So even though Noah's damaged goods, they still want him.
The rules are to bring Noah back if you find him alive.
All right.
And if we don't?
If you don't, you can bring your 2 new prospects, but if you do manage to find what's left of Noah, see if you can find anything unusual nearby him.
Wait. Typically, you know what? Should I be concerned, we be concerned, since you're saying what's left of Noah? Should there be concern for, I don't know, like something malicious happening that we should be concerned that maybe we might end up being a what's left of, Tori or
sounds
Cormac
like you know something.
situation?
Yeah. You're not letting on everything here?
What the fuck am I walking into? What are we walking into?
All I've been told is that they want Noah, and they want you two to bring him in as promised. And if you can't bring him in, when I say what's left of him, that means whole, or if he gets himself into something worse, not whole. I'm not going to foreshadow. If you manage to find it, search around him.
Aye.
They're looking for something.
Is this one of those, we'll know it when we see it sort of deals?
You'll know it when you fucking see it.
Oh, great.
All right. Shouldn't be too difficult.
Shouldn't
Now
be.
that we know that there's potential that there's a what's left of him situation, I think maybe we should start looking at the dumpsters and ditches.
Speaking hypothetically, Tori, I don't know what this kid got himself into. You two know better than me. I know what I was told to come here and tell you, which is your job.
Have the people back at home base heard about this lady making the rounds?
If they haven't, then they will when I get back there. But they definitely want Noah.
All right, and just let them know that there's some strange interference going on, and we're trying to work with it. All right.
But Cormac, and he puts a hand on your shoulder. You can feel it's a big hand. You can feel the gold ring on his finger dig into your shoulder a little bit.
I try not to flinch.
Cormac. You're thinking way too far ahead here. They have a job for you. They want you to do the job. You're getting into management territory when right now we need you as a runner. So be a runner.
Aye.
Does it sound too difficult to follow them around? To get them on the hunt even harder for Noah? Think you can dig him up as quickly as possible?
What if we find Noah and they're with us and he is in
a state
and they freak the fuck out and then they want to call the police or they want to, I don't know, do whatever it is that
then
people like that do.
Call us or get him out of there. Say that you're going to take him to the hospital and get him in a car and drive away. Lie.
Aye.
No lie?
All right, we'll get this done.
Thank you. Fucking thank you. Follow him wherever you got to.
Not a
Tori,
problem.
though. Tori, different task for you today, though. We've got I got a special executive night back at the club. Need things to go smoothly. So instead of being a runner, you're going to be a babysitter for tonight.
And clean up.
Hey. Nice men in expensive clothes with lots of money and very strange tastes need to be taken care of. And somebody has to wrangle all that. Today it's you.
Hi, Tori, if there's any leftovers, just let me know and I'll swing by. If I can.
I got it.
All right.
I'll be fine. This isn't the first time I've had to play babysitter. Just
These ones are they're a little eccentric. Apparently there's going to be a lot of closed door activity, so stay out of it unless things are
right.
too far gone.
Let them do what they want to do and just make sure nobody dies, right? More or less.
Let them do what they want to do.
All right. Not a problem.
Great. Keep me posted. Let me know if they get any more leads and follow them. We have a plan?
Yeah. Cormac.
Aye.
Good. And he finally lets go of your shoulder at that point. Happy hunting. And he walks back towards his car.
Tori's gonna look at Cormac and kind of punch him in the shoulder. Dude!
What?
We've talked about this! The fuck?
He takes another hit. Look, here's...
Do not fuck this up!
Look. Alright. Like, I don't know if you've heard anything about what happened to the last people that we replaced, but... Yeah, this... Look, it can't blame me for being a little fucking stressed out about this. So
You can be stressed all you want to, but I don't need you going and letting that moral compass of yours start fritzing on me because you fucked this up and
Right.
I'm not gonna protect you, dude. Like, you knew the stakes when you came into this, the same as I did.
But you and I both know that you started taking a shine to him just like I did. He was a good guy.
Dude, he was a mark. He was the way for me to pay for college. Are you kidding me?
Look,
Was he a good guy? Yeah, good guy. A lot of people are good guys. You were probably a good guy once.
I'll plead the fifth on
That guy
one.
was probably a good guy once.
I don't think he was ever anything but that,
Okay.
to be perfectly honest.
Right. Either way, everybody is a good person at some point. At least for a moment. That doesn't mean anything. And you don't know, Noah might have been a nice kid right now, but as we have seen, it just takes one night for him to go fucking lunatic psycho, like,
Right.
legitimately.
And I mean, I don't know about how much the two of you talked, but I mean, after that party, I mean, he definitely was starting to let on that he was getting into some more of the, we'll say the spicier side of the lifestyle.
He was going all like he had the mentality of like a conspiracy theorist. He had to like, he was so intent on, yeah, as you put it, the spicier side of things. But like, you saw what was in the suitcase. Are you kidding me?
I didn't think he went that deep. I thought he was just
Clearly
dabbling.
He did, and he was such a nice guy.
He was. No, there's something wrong with that lady. There's something
Dude, it was
with
probably just some fucking like super extra fucked up ex, or I don't know, maybe a bad rap of LSD or something that she fed him.
her. Hey, do me a favor. If you've got time, swing by Lee's and tell me that you don't think that there's something wrong with her. Swing by Lee and tell...
Realize that Lee was also really big on the shit, right? One of my best customers.
He was really big on the shit, but look, there's Lee's base level of operating, and then there's whatever the fuck he's currently going through.
Bad batch. Batch cut with something. Maybe she got something and she cut it with something else that probably it shouldn't have been done with, and it happens all the time. Do you not actually pay attention in class? Do you never pay attention in like any kind of like any science classes that have to do with psychology, your biology, how your brain reacts to chemicals and stuff? Like,
you're going into pharmacology. I'm a film student. That's not the neither the twain shall meet there.
You still have to take science, dude. Really?
I got my gen eds taken care of, and I said fuck the rest of it.
Oh my god.
Look, so no, just honestly, do me a favor, swing by Lee's, and tell me that I'm not onto something. And even if
he's probably batshit crazy, or he's on a bender, who the fuck knows? I don't care. That's the point. I don't care. My job right now is I'm about to go babysit some wonderful gentlemen, I'm sure, or whatever the fuck they are. I don't really care. I get to go do that now.
How's your inventory?
My inventory is fine.
All right. Well, if you need to top off afterwards, I mean, I know how crazy those parties can get it, but if you're running low, hit up Skillet. He's holding right now.
I will do that. We'll see what kind of shit they're into. I've got a pretty good stash, so I think I'll be all right. But nonetheless, that's what I'm going to do. Your job now is to not worry about Lee. Your job is to worry about Tweedledee and Tweedledum and find Noah. Okay?
How about we go Tweedledee and Tweedledee squared? I don't like the inference.
Okay. Whatever makes you feel better. Whatever makes you feel better.
Right. I'll send you text periodically, and I'll let you know what's going on. All right.
Cool. I'm serious though. Don't fuck this shit up, man. You don't want to find out what happens when you fuck things up for these people.
I've heard the stories. All right. I know it's not good.
All right. I'm out.
All right. Good luck. Have fun.
I'm gonna flips you off.
And Cormac and Tori part ways. Before we cut away, Tori, where you're heading in this like more grid-like part of town, you're going to wind up passing Lee's place anyway. Do you feel like stopping in per Cormac, or are you just going to keep on going?
I will probably just like kind of. I'm sure is he an apartment or?
It's an apartment building.
It's an apartment building. Nah.
Okay.
Nah, I'm not. I saw Noah, and if Cormac is saying that Lee is just like Noah, even though I'm like kind of shrugging it off, I assume it's close to that, so I don't need to necessarily see it again. And I was also told to go do this thing, and I'm not really trying to piss those people off, so
that's a good plan. Okay. Then Tori heads off to her glorified babysitting gig. Cormac heads off to think on the situation a bit more. Cormac,
Aye.
Go ahead and give me a quick roll before we cut away from you. 2d10 plus your intuition.
Okay. $18.
It was pretty clear even without a roll like that, but something in the way that man said what he said, you know that there's more to it, but coupling it with all of the weird shit that's going on, you know that the you'll know it when you see it thing, there's something off about that. It might have something to do with what you picked up on when he showed up. You have an option here. You can continue forward exactly as you were supposed to, or you do have his number. You can attempt to call or text him and try to push a bit more, see if he would be willing to give you any more information on what you're looking for.
Oh, the handler?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give it a little bit of time.
Okay.
About 10-15 minutes, and as I'm going to start meeting before I start making contact with Alex and Audrey to get in touch, I'll kind of step off somewhere and I'll give him a quick call.
Okay. He picks up. That was fast. I figured that you'd be at it for a bit.
Oh, no, here, I'm getting ready to meet up with the brother's name is Alex. The ex's name is Audrey. Just whatever you want to do with that.
Great, I'm not going to remember that.
Great.
Sure.
All right, look. I mean, Tori and I we've come through for you so far in quite a few different sticky situations, and I'd just appreciate a little bit of professional courtesy for just a stretch of time here, if you don't mind.
I'm interested enough at the balls that it took to say that to hear the rest of what you got to say.
All right. Look, I know that there's something not right going on. The things that I've seen just even last night, there's something sitting wrong here. What exactly did Noah get himself into?
Go ahead and roll 2d10 and add your charisma.
Please. 6.
6. There's a pause on the end of the line. And he goes, you know what? You want to know what Noah got himself into? There's a party tonight. Go check it out. Bring your new friends.
That was kind of the plan anyway.
Great. Well, now you have a more specific party to go to.
Is this different than the one that I heard going? I can't remember the name of the guy's place that this next one was going to be at. Russell's, was it?
It's different, yeah.
Okay.
Like that one was more of just like a student party. He has not said any name, and there seems to be an implication in his voice that if you're looking for the kind of thing that Noah got into, this is the party that you would want to go to.
All right. I'll take the information then, and I've got my agenda then. Gonna go to this different party.
Good plan. I'll text you the address. And he hangs up before you say anything else.
I wasn't planning on saying anything else. This is not the kind of thing that you say thank you for.
Good plan. We're going to move over now to Professor Jones. Professor, today is not a class day.
Okay.
Today's an off day. You've had personal errands to do, and you haven't even given a thought yet to the others that you were commingling with yesterday. You have, of course, given a thought to Noah and the writing that you read and all the interesting visions that played through your mind when you read it. Visions that seemed to start to fill in some cracks. Seem to start to fill in and numb that gnawing a little bit. Something that was missing starting to come together, but not quite. All in all, though, it's still been a very confusing day. But today's been your off day. You've had you time. You're on your way to your therapist. Lots to unpack. You arrive in your therapist's office, and she opens the door and welcomes you. And normal routine. Sign in. There's a couch or a chair. It's your call. You sit on one. She'll sit on the other.
I'll take the couch.
Feels a bit more traditional. And she sits in the chair and she goes, "So, Ozzy, can you give me a few feeling words to describe your current state?"
Confused.
Okay.
Intrigued. And I feel like there's a little bit of nervousness in there.
Okay. Are these all separate feelings or are they a package deal?
I feel like they might be related.
Okay.
Something's kind of going on at the school, and I don't know. I feel like I'm one of the only people trying to figure it out.
Okay. Before we go into that, physically, how are you feeling with these sensations? Is there a bodily response to this? How are you feeling overall? Is there a reflectant in there, or is it just sort of existing up here?
I guess I was feeling something, specifically when I read something. But otherwise, no. Just kind of up here.
Do you want to talk about the thing that you read, or do you want to talk about what you're trying to handle at school first?
The thing that I read is kind of stuck with me.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me about it.
And it's related.
Okay.
One of the kids had gone missing from my class.
No. Oh, that's awful.
And yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out. And I recently had the opportunity to read his last assignment. I didn't take it originally just because it was kind of trashed, but when I read it, it really stuck with me. I've actually got it right here. Maybe, yeah. Maybe you can see if you get anything from it.
How about you read it to me?
Okay. And I'll read it to her.
And you read it. And go ahead and make me 2d10, add your soul into it.
Okay, and my soul. I forgot where my sheet was in this computer.
It's the bottom stat on the stat tree.
Oh, yeah. No, I just lost. It's my sheet is not. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Okay.
Bottom plus 0. So it is 14.
Okay. You're reading it, and the words are still resonating the same as yesterday. As you read, you start through the 2 dying suns, the clouds, the sparks, the structure, the fumes, the city. And then as you get to the female shape, the woman of Noah's dreams, you feel a warm sensation rise in you. And the more that you read, the more you feel yourself getting excited. You feel heated up more. At one point, you self-consciously cross your legs. I'm not sure if anything's going on yet, but you're aware enough that if there is, it's not really the time for that. And then you get to the end. There's drops of sweat on your temple as you look back up at the therapist, who seems generally unfazed, but definitely enraptured in what you said. Well, Ozzy, that was fascinating. And your student wrote this.
Yeah, it's the last thing he left for me.
How does it make you feel?
I guess that's where a bit of the confusion comes in.
Sure.
Not entirely sure how it related to the assignment, and it seemed a bit like get other things like this. We recently found some of his belongings that were left at Lost and Found, and there were some peculiar things there.
Like what?
Oh, I what do you guys have? The you can't tell people what you've got going on with them?
HIPAA, yes.
Yeah. I don't have HIPAA, but I feel like I shouldn't say.
That's totally fine. But these things of Noah's, you said that they were relating to this paper.
More writings like this. Some other strange things. All seemed very unlike the kid that I knew, you know?
It's understandable. Now, the pieces from the journal, did they reflect this essay very directly, or did it seem more like it was developing into something?
It feels like it could have been ripped out of it.
Very interesting.
And in fact, I'm sure it was. If I had the journal with me right now, I bet you I could find where the page was ripped out.
Did the assignment look like it was ripped out from the journal when he handed it in to you?
It could have been. Storyteller, do I know any?
The journal was smaller, so physically no, but in a metaphorical sense, it definitely felt like it.
Yeah. Imagine if you were scribbling all over the walls and eventually ended up on a certain piece of paper. The train of thought kind of all led to this. You think I could get a sense for Storyteller? Do you think I could get a sense for maybe having read everything or a lot of it, maybe where that trail was going, or if this was towards the beginning or the end?
You can definitely tell from the fact that the journal had more like snippets, whereas this was much more coherent, that it was building up into something. It didn't seem like it was that linear, but this definitely came off like a magnum opus, or at least it felt like that to you. It made you feel that way.
The rest felt a bit more like scaffolding. This felt like the final product.
And it's definitely impacted you.
Can you tell?
You're sweating and you're crossing your legs.
Yeah.
You don't have to be embarrassed here, Ozzy. This is a place to be vulnerable.
It's just strange. I don't think I've ever reacted to something that a student has turned in like this, and I almost didn't read it.
But you felt compelled to.
I did.
And now here you are with these burning sensations and this paper, this story that has just burned itself into your mind. It's so vivid.
Just brings up more questions than answers, you know.
What sort of questions?
What brought him to this point? Is there anything I could have done to have prevented this? I mean, the kid's gone missing.
It's been missing for a couple weeks now, right?
That's right. And I don't think anything like this has been going on at the university up to this point. other than the usual burnout or dropout.
Right,
It
but
seems a little different.
right. People don't usually go on a sexual escapade and then suddenly disappear.
Right.
Ozzy, can you go ahead and roll
didn't,
your intuition for me?
I didn't mention the sexual escapade.
Right. Could you roll your intuition for me? Actually, you know what? Now that you said that, go ahead and roll your soul for me.
Okay. That's 12.
12. Yeah, you didn't mention that at all. In fact, you didn't mention that. You didn't mention a few things, like Noah's name.
I didn't. And that wasn't in the paper or anything.
No.
I need to figure out how I want to approach this. I'm actually, I might have a fever or something. You can tell.
Oh, no. Yeah, maybe. And she moves over and sits next to you and puts the back of her palm against your head. You do feel a bit warm.
Yeah. I think I'm going to call it a day early. Get some rest before the school week starts.
Are you sure? If you have a fever, getting up and walking about could lead to dizzy spells. If you need to sit here for a bit, you can.
No, I've, played a little sports back in the day. I'm able to tough through a little walk.
You say this as you're gathering the papers together,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a look at the paper again, Noah's paper, and you feel her hand on your shoulder, and as she goes, "Okay, but you don't have to go away. This
is a place for you to feel vulnerable."
I'm gonna head out. Thank you.
As you get up and you look, you see very slender person, very angular face, the cheekbones up, lips full of color, black hair. She looks startling. She looks, one might say, like the woman of your dreams.
Yeah, I'm gonna run.
I would hate for you to cause more harm.
And as you go to run, you feel her hand dig into your shoulder, the long fingers sinking in. Can you roll and add your fortitude for me?
Okay. Okay. So 19.
19. Okay. It hurts, but nothing damaging, but it does prevent you from moving off of the couch as she goes.
No, stay. There's so much more to talk about. Your session's not there. And perhaps I can tell you something for all that you told me.
Sure.
It's a lovely paper, isn't it? He's so talented. There's so much raw passion in him. You can feel it, can't you?
It was really something, yeah.
You don't have to be shy about the dice. This is the place where you can express.
As the long hand just slides from your shoulder across your chest.
can express yourself in any way.
And can you go ahead and just roll 2d10 for me?
Plus nothing.
Plus nothing.
17.
17. This feels familiar, but nothing's coming up. Nothing's coming to mind, but that sense of missing pieces is prevalent the more that she talks to you and the more that her hand caresses your chest and wrinkles your shirt.
Do you have anything that you'd like to express?
Yeah, you talked about feelings earlier, physical feelings.
Yes.
I feel like something's missing. There's like cracks, but there's nothing quite in them.
You need to fill the spaces.
You wouldn't, I don't know, happen to know anywhere that I can explore that?
I know plenty of places they can explore.
As her other hand slides across your thigh. Go ahead and roll me 2d10. Add your soul onto it.
19.
19. You get the sense that it's not, this isn't everything. You can't quite reach it, but there's more here. As you feel her other hand tighten against the inside of your thigh.
How much would you like to explore Ozymandias?
And I'm kind of going to snap out of it for a minute because I was drawn in for a second, but I really do have something I have to do. I promised some people that I'd meet up with them.
Yes, your new friends, Noah's friends.
You could call them that, yeah.
I can help you find what you're looking for. Ozymandias. Only delay them a bit.
I couldn't hear that last part.
Delay them. Give them things to be distracted by. Don't have them dive in just yet.
Okay.
You can do that for me. If you can give me this one thing.
As you feel her hands tighten against you and she pulls your body close to hers, pressing up against you.
I can give you so much.
Okay.
And she, pulling closer to you, you find her on top of you, facing you, straddling you.
How about we fill some of those cracks in your memory and see if we can put together the missing pieces?
As her hands slide down your chest, as you close your eyes, as you feel the heat inside of you swell to a feverish level. We're going to take our break here. We're going to let you rehydrate, rest. We're going to let our players do the same. And we'll be back as soon as possible. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. While Tori babysits elsewhere for the rest of this episode, Cormac puts his plan into motion, and Professor Jones occupies his time. We'll cut back to Alex and Audrey. You've driven up 75-85 to the fork and split off. First exit off of 85, Armor Drive, taking you towards the Piedmont Heights, Brookwood Hills area of town. A part of Metro Atlanta that, among other things, is known for having a disproportionate number of strip clubs and sex shops. They're not an uncommon thing in Atlanta, but for some reason, this is the area where they thrive. And Alex, being not from this town, you notice that as you drive, and they're all weirdly kind of positioned too. There's a burger place, and there's a sex shop, and there's a strip club, and there's a Vietnamese place, and they're just everywhere. There's no like, this is the red light district part of town. It's just intermixed. There's a church even ways down the road from here. It just all sort of fits together here. Audrey, however, is more focused on driving. Of course, she has a bit of a mission at this point. She has seen a lot that Noah has been through, and now seems to have a legitimate lead on someone who's seen him since she stopped seeing him. So this is a little bit more of a focus point, isn't it, Audrey?
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a 2d10 roll and add your reflexes.
16.
Okay. Not bad driving for Atlanta. She manages to avoid the abundance of potholes that are in this path. But in swerving around them to avoid them, Alex, you feel your stomach roil a bit. The Pepto hasn't helped, unfortunately. And the driving is still not the worst that it could be. But it's still there. You've got that sort of pit feeling in your stomach, that cramping feeling, that acidic feeling that just makes you feel nauseated.
Am I like kind of starting to notice that he's looking not so great?
You are driving, so go ahead and roll and add your perception.
Uh, 16.
Yeah, it's the you wouldn't notice that his stomach isn't making loud noises or anything. The aching seems to just be internal for him, but it's the repetitive sound of like scratching that you hear across fingertips across denim that goes for like feels like 2 minutes. That causes you to glance over and you see a very discomforted face, sweat drops beating on the brow, uncomfortable shifting. It's definitely noticeable.
So Audrey kind of like side eyes this for a minute or two, and then eventually is just sort of like, "Are you doing all right?"
Just not really feeling like 100%. I don't know. Could be like maybe car sickness or something.
Do you like need something or?
Well, I took some Pepto over at your place.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, you did just fly in. Maybe you just caught something.
Yeah, but could be like kind of jet lag and everything as well, I guess.
Okay. Well, Audrey just kind of like accepts that, but there's definitely a little bit of, to this whole situation.
Of course. But yeah, store that for now. As you arrive at the sex shop from the flyer. There's nothing particularly stand out about it. It's not the cinematic arrival that you thought it might be to a place shoved into a suitcase of depravity from your ex-boyfriend. Nothing sinister, nothing especially seedy. It's just this is the one he went to.
So for this particular shop,
yes.
Is it like is it a place where Noah would have had to like drive as well? Like where is it in conjunction?
Yeah, Noah's apartment was near Georgia State, just like Audrey's, so he would have had to make the same drive that you just did to get here, about 20 minutes without bad traffic. However, it is notable that of all the places he could have gone, he did have to get off the exit, drive a bit, and then wind up here.
So there's like a couple of shops that we would pass.
There were other options.
Okay.
There's nothing special looking about this place, but there were other options.
Okay.
You arrive. There's a couple of cars in the parking lot as you pull in and park.
Right.
Well, this is the place.
I guess so. I don't know. I guess I expected more than this, less than this, one of those two.
Yeah, it doesn't really seems like it should be seedier.
I mean, like I haven't spent like a lot of time in sex stores, but some of that stuff in the suitcase, I don't think you get that from your regular old... What is this place called?
It doesn't have a name out front. There's not a big sign.
It's just an address.
Never mind. That's horrifying.
Is it just like an address on the cards and stuff that we...
The flyer itself... let's just say the ink on it has run a bit, but you were able to make out what kind of shop this was and the address and the phone number.
Huh.
For non-descriptive purposes, we'll say some of the ink ran a bit, being stored in that suitcase.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go in?
Yeah, I think we should go in.
Okay. Turn the car off and get out.
Okay.
Go into the unnamed sex store.
Okay. Audrey, get out of the car. Alex, you step out of the car. You have to brace yourself for a second as you feel blood rush, a little dizzy, before you shake it off and both of you walk towards the door.
I guess I'll go in first.
Okay. So Alex,
I will follow behind him.
Okay. So Alex pulls open the door and he walks through. You feel the blast of air conditioning, Alex. You feel a quick rub of metal chains that just sort of slink over your shoulder and back.
Is there like anyone like behind a counter or anything?
There is somebody behind a counter. There's a couple of people wandering about. The walls are lined with various packages of toys, various lingeries. There's standing racks in the middle. Audrey, do you go in as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you walk right in. You feel the hit of the air conditioning, and you see all the same stuff.
Does this look like just the usual stuff one would expect here, or am I seeing the kind of stuff we found in Noah's suitcase, the spikes and the so on and so forth?
At first glance, it seems to be a pretty run-of-the-mill place. But both of you go ahead and roll your perception.
Right. Uh,
14.
I have to do math. So it's 17. I got plus 3 perception, so that's 20, but I've got the -1 because my stability is messed up.
You're not rolling at a disadvantage right now.
Okay.
This is not a disadvantage roll just yet.
So
Your disadvantages
20.
are on the other side of the sheet.
Yes. Okay. So you notice all of these things, and then Alex notices it first because it's directed more at him. Then Audrey, you notice it as well. That person behind the counter, kind of gave Alex a weird, prolonged look before turning back and seeming to talk to somebody who's maybe sitting behind the counter.
What?
Hi.
Are you approaching the counter?
Yeah.
Okay. First, kind of hi, say hi, and they the person looks back at you. You look like a customer of ours, but this is not this is already being an awkward situation, so I'm guessing not.
No.
You look just like him, and it's a very short woman that just stands up from her seated position behind the counter, so it's not much of a difference. And she leans on the countertop and she goes, "You guys related or something? Do you have a brother?"
I do. Yeah, that would probably be my brother. We found this card in his stuff.
Okay, yeah. So what you looking for then?
Him?
He's not here. I thought you. Sorry. Oh, did you say that the flyer was in his stuff or with his stuff? He gave it to you?
It was in his stuff.
Okay. I haven't seen him in a bit, but
How long?
Yeah, when did you see him last?
I don't know, a week, 2 weeks. We're a store. People come in when they want to.
Did he spend a lot of money here, all at once?
And they sort of exchange a glance and look back and go, "Why?"
Because we're trying to find him.
Have you called him or Facebooked him or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He found what we might think is stuff that he bought from here, and we were just wondering if you have seen him recently.
And the woman just goes, "He hasn't been in for a couple of weeks." What sort of stuff?
Did he?
I don't have an inventory.
A lot of stuff.
Well, we do carry a lot of stuff, so
We can see that.
it may have been our stuff.
Did he
Maybe
come in here
somebody-
often and buy things, or did he sort of just come in once or twice and drop $400?
He came in here a few times. I think he stopped going to one of the other shops or a couple of the shops. I don't remember if it was just one or if it was a couple of them in the other area, and started coming here for a few weeks. But no, yeah, well-paying customer.
Yeah, we figured that part out.
Was he here with anyone?
Gonna go ahead and ask why again.
Because we were engaged and we share a checking account and I wasn't the person he was here with.
Could you go ahead and roll 2d10? Go ahead and add your charisma.
That's a bad roll for me. Oh, that's okay. 12.
Okay.
And some of that was truth adjacent.
Yeah. No, the guy still seems skeptical. The woman immediately understands where you're coming from. He just goes, "Oh, no. He wasn't in here with anybody else. Maybe he was trying to surprise you? It was just him."
It was a hell of a surprise.
Yeah, it wasn't that great of a surprise.
Sorry. We do have a no returns policy, though, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And Audrey just turns around. I can't with these people.
Alex?
Yeah. If you see him again, can you contact us?
Is this like a missing persons thing, or?
We're just trying to find him.
You're his brother and she's his fiance.
Yeah, we got that part.
Yeah, and you want us to help find him because you can't.
Not help find. If he comes in again, let us know.
Sure. Okay. I can go check when the last time he came in was, maybe. I think we still...
That'd be great.
Yeah, we haven't archived this month yet, so sure. Hang on, and he walks around the counter and heads towards the back, leaving you two to talk for a bit or explore a bit, whatever you feel.
Yeah,
like
I want to look around.
Okay.
Where's the red beaded curtain in here?
Go ahead and roll your perception.
I mean, I figured we walked through the red beaded curtain to get in here.
No,
you didn't walk through anything. No, you didn't walk through anything to get in here.
Oh, that's horrifying.
What was your perception roll?
15, and I caught that.
Okay. Yeah, you see it's more of a curtain area that's kind of off to the side of the counter. So obviously whoever's by the counter can monitor that a bit easier.
I'm headed that way.
Okay. And you go in, and this one's a bit more, we'll call it expert mode, than the outside. It's looking a little bit more like what you found on the rougher side in Noah's briefcase. You're not seeing some of the more medieval implements, but this is definitely where sex experimentation leaves and kink comes in.
I'm looking specifically, do they have a big empty spot where they might have had one of the leather crosses up for sale? Because he mentioned that an awful lot in his notebook.
No, this area actually seems pretty full.
Okay.
You get a small tap underneath your shoulder blade. Can you go ahead actually really quickly and roll add your willpower to keep it together?
Oh goodness, this is fine. 10?
It does startle you. Not enough to have a meltdown, but sort of similar to when everybody was trying to touch you to calm you down the other day. It's a surprise physical contact that you were not expecting behind you.
And Audrey, if anyone can see her other than this person, clearly jerks away.
And you do, and you look and look down, and it's the shorter woman that was behind the the counter. She goes, sorry. Trying to get, sorry. Did something happen to Noah? Is that why you guys are having trouble finding him?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
And you said it was a big surprise. The stuff that he bought. Like, was it a surprise because you weren't expecting him to buy it, or a surprise because you found it?
One then the other.
Okay, I don't know where he is, but he's acting like really weird the last time he was in here. Like kind of manic.
Okay.
Like it felt like it was just him, you know. I didn't feel like it didn't have that, you know, that movie, like, you know, something's wrong, you know, this guy is like on edge because of somebody or something deal. Like, we get this occasionally. It's called sub frenzy. Someone who's like new into the scene, they get real excited, real into it, and they just try to ride that high really fast. It can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. And, you know, people with a more addictive personality get a bit more into it than others.
And that's what he seemed like to you?
Yeah, he seemed very, like I said, he was really riding that high. He was looking for something more than the previous time that he had bought stuff. And before that, he was looking for something more as well, but this seemed more determined. Like I said, you know, it happens sometimes, but I mean, if you weren't expecting that stuff, that's a pretty high velocity move to go.
Yeah, that wasn't what we were about.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to check if the surprise was him sort of just dropping it on the table with you.
You could say that.
Most of the stuff he bought last time was this sort of stuff, and like she gestures to the stuff on the walls, and it is more like your general kink stuff. Like there's gags, there's the ball gags, there's some cat o' nine tails, there's a couple suspension harnesses. It's all sort of the what's what of BDSM and kink. It's like he was really focused on this room the last time that he was in here. I don't know if you encountered any of this stuff.
Yeah. When he was in here last time, did he ask you to refer him to somewhere even harder? Because there was stuff we found that you're not selling here.
No, we didn't. We didn't refer him anywhere. He did ask if we could deliver it.
To where?
I mean, I'm not. Oh, fuck it. Here, when he comes back with stuff, we can see what we can get.
Okay.
Okay. And are you hanging out in here? Or are you heading back out?
I mean, I guess I'll head back out. Nothing in here seems like it's gonna spark anything in particular.
That makes sense. I'd say go ahead and make one more roll and add your perception, though.
I'll give it a go. Yeah, Audrey definitely takes one. Okay, well, that is 21. She takes one last kind of look around.
Makes sense. Could you go ahead and roll another 2d10?
Uh-oh.
6. To even out my 20.
So the shorter woman walks out and you walk out, and right before you hit the curtain, you stop dead in your tracks as you see one more section of the wall that you didn't see when you came in because it was right near the entrance exit. And it's the assortment of rope. That silky kind of rope. That uncomfortably familiar rope. As you start to focus on it, memories start to flare back up again, like they do. And you don't know if you want to just run out of this shop entirely or if you can even move your feet. There's a part of you that just wants to just tear it off the wall and make sure that it's done with. As you put your hand to your head, your eyes fall on your exposed wrist. The lines are still dug into it. Alex didn't seem to notice on the way in. He was a bit distracted with how he was feeling. But, well, you'll never forget, will you?
And Audrey is just standing there, just frozen in this moment, living it again.
Again. Still feeling the sensations. Still seeing that face. That face so familiar to the one that you're spending so much time with now. Different, but the same. Similar features, similar quirks, similar unconventional interests in their dreams, it seems. They just have... God, they have so much in common, don't they?
Just runs in the fucking family.
I mean... It could have easily been Alex instead of Noah, right? Arguably, it still could be.
And I let him in my apartment?
He slept on your couch? He escorted you home? Away from everybody else?
And now we're in this place together? What was I thinking?
As you have all this racing through your head, we'll cut back to Alex, who still outside in the main area. Alex, as you're walking through, take your 2d10 roll and add your fortitude again.
All right. That is not so great. That is an 8 and plus fortitude. So it's 9.
Okay. You're walking. You're looking at things. And then you feel it. And instinct, flight or fight, kicks in as you scramble away from the wall, frantically searching. You see it behind the counter. You scramble, you grab it, and you vomit into the trash can. It's loud. It's wet splattering on what was an empty trash can bottom. As you hear the voice of the woman that was behind the counter, as she comes back into the main area going, "Oh, what the shit?"
Sorry.
No customers behind the counter. 1, 2. Are you good?
Sorry. Yeah, maybe. It's the stomach pain going away, or is it still?
It's subsided a little bit, but it's still there. It's still there, that kind of bloating feeling.
I think I'm good. It must have been the noodles I had earlier.
Okay. Do you need to sit down or?
Do I need to sit down?
That's up to you.
Oh, yeah. I could probably take a seat for a bit.
Oh, okay. Sure. Hang on to that for now.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
You take your seat like on the floor next to the counter, holding the trash can. Audrey, how are you doing?
By this point, I figure Audrey has started to pull herself back together, if only with anger.
Anger. Perhaps a bit more conviction. But you are pulling yourself back together. Do you
I'll go back
stay
out
here?
into the main room. No,
All right.
I'll go back out into the main room once I'm convinced I could convince people that I was fine.
All right. You go back out and you see Alex sitting on the floor holding a trash can in front of him. You see the woman behind the counter looking at him funny. And that's when the guy actually comes back out with a small stack of papers. Last receipt that I had from him was about 2 weeks ago.
Okay. That checks out with our timeline too.
Yeah. And the woman goes, hey, where, like, that's the delivery receipt, right? And he looks at her like, what the hell, man? And goes, yeah, that's the delivery receipt. She like gestures her head at you two. He looks at her, gestures his head again. He shakes his head. Come on. She didn't know, man. Like, this guy's up to something. And they start bickering a bit back and forth about, it's not our job to do this stuff. And come on, cut her some slack. It's kind of grinding at you a little bit, Audrey. Like, information is right there.
I'm gonna let this go on for a second, but if Alex is still kind of laid up on the floor, I am gonna snap at these people.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you snap at them?
So after they've been going back and forth for a bit, Audrey just seemingly from a stupor of silence is just like, would you just give me the fucking thing?
And that snaps them out of it enough. The man doesn't hand it over to you, but he does just sort of stand there with the paper in his hand. Easy enough for you to grab it if you wanted.
I am going to snatch it from him.
Okay. And, he starts to protest, but you look over it, and the address is not yours. It's not Noah's. It's nowhere near the college. You don't know this place.
I'm going to note it down. Can I check it in my cell phone? See kind of where this is supposed to be?
Sure,
Maps.
yes. Yeah, go ahead and plug it into maps.
Yeah.
While
And you
she's,
plug it. Oh, go ahead.
while she's doing that, I'm going to kind of elbow my way up. So I'm leaning on the counter and be like, you thought I was the mad one.
So you plug it in, and this is, it's definitely not near the college. It's over a little south of East Atlanta Village, which, for those of you who are not in Atlanta, that is further south, further east, 2 different highways to get there. Still a metro Atlanta area, but it's not anywhere at all near either of you. It's not near Lee's place. It's out and away. It's not an area of town that you particularly ever felt compelled to go to, Audrey.
And I look at Alex and just kind of like give my head a little shake, like, no idea.
About this time, Alex, you get a text message. It's from Cormac. And it's telling you about a potential lead that he might have on Noah. And it's at a party later tonight. For note, the address is not the one that Audrey just looked up.
Oh, so convenient that would have been.
So close. Is it near that address?
No, this one is actually more so near the university. It's in that same general, like, downtownish area. Or south downtown, but downtown.
Cormac has a lead on a party for tonight.
Of course, those two want to go to another party.
Professor Jones, you also get the same text message, by the way.
What am I up to?
You've left your therapy.
Showering.
You've left your therapy appointment. You've been sort of wandering, processing.
Mm-hmm.
But you also get the text message.
Yeah, I'll be slower to respond.
What is your response?
Yeah, I'll meet up with you guys.
Okay. Alex?
Yeah, I'll do the same. Like, once I see the professor respond to it, I'll be like, yeah, we should be there.
Audrey, you okay with this?
No, but yeah.
Okay.
And she makes that opinion clear.
Okay.
Well, we have to go. It's a lead.
I said yes.
And with that, Alex sheepishly gives the trash can back to a rather disgusted cashier who
Sorry.
definitely did not deserve this today, but here it is. And you two walk through the door out the shop. We'll fast forward. No, go
as
ahead.
Audrey's walking out the door, she kind of stops and points into the special room and is like, do you know in England that's illegal? You can't consent to violence being done against you. And while English court systems aren't binding on the US, they are persuasive if anyone were to ever bring a court case against it. And then she turns and walks out the door.
Were you saying this to Alex or were you saying it to the cashiers?
To the cashiers. I blame everyone for what happened to me.
Hey.
Everyone was complacent in this.
And they stand there looking very confused, holding a soiled trash can as they watch you both exit. We're going to fast forward a bit to the evening time over in South Downtown off of Trinity Avenue and Memorial Drive, where Cormac has brought you all to a party that he heard about that may provide maybe a lead on Noah, if not at least a sense of what he was getting himself into. Cormac, you obviously weren't given much more information than what transpired in your scene, but when the address was sent to you, it was labeled the Carnival of Flesh.
Now is
trying to have an edgy name to it.
now does Cormac know about the reputation of this particular, we'll say, scene?
You do know that this is... They probably don't have a bouncer and a cover charge to get in.
Mm-hmm. I just
This
didn't
is
know
not
if
exactly
this,
a coordinated thing.
I just didn't know if this was something that Cormac would normally roll around in, or if this is one of those you have to know someone who knows someone who knows someone to get in.
You get the sense that while this is not necessarily something that is off of your radar, you don't really have familiarity with this because you had to be pointed to this. You haven't been here before.
So I can at least make some inferences.
You can make some inference.
Okay. All right.
All four of you are there, by the way.
Say, what's the... I figured Cormac was probably going to kind of wait out... he wouldn't wait, like, directly out front of the building. He'd probably wait on the nearest cross street intersection and just kind of wait for everyone to show up. But Cormac's taken the point to... we'll say, dress as well as he could with the intent of maybe not leaving with all of his clothes by the end of the night.
Sure.
But he's definitely been spending some time pre-gaming, waiting for everyone here. Cormac's feeling pretty damn good, all things considered.
That makes sense. Alex, Audrey, Professor Jones, you all arrive and encounter Cormac.
Aye. Y'all have a productive afternoon, did you?
Yeah.
Eh.
I could have got more done.
Aye. Well... all right, so here's the deal. This place is not normally the kind of scene that I associate with. Now, granted, the kind of places that Tori and I would usually go. You'd normally have a pretty damn good time if that's what you're into. Some, a little bacchanalia every once in a while is good for the soul. But these people, they might be a little bit more, we'll say, professional at this than the normal college kids that I roll around with. So, just need to stress, you all want to get to the bottom of this, and I want to be done with this whole situation. So,
Where'd you get this lead?
look, I know some people that once again, the kind of people that don't like law enforcement sniffing around. But
Criminals.
But listen, I need you all to... You all need to be cool with what you're all going to see. I don't know if this is hyperbolic or if this is something that they clearly are walking the walk, but the scene is called the Carnival of Flesh, and I know I kind of balk at the name too, but if this was the normal kind of place that I would go to, that kind of a name, I'd go the other direction because of that kind of reaction. But this is a whole other subscene, and this could be a bit much even for me. So, look, I spent a good chunk of the afternoon getting high off my ass, and I'm flying there right now. I would highly advise y'all pregame a little bit. I've got vapes and I've got some edibles if that's more your thing. Audrey, I know trust me, you've been through a lot, right? I don't want to have you have a panic attack in the middle of a bunch of perverts and draw attention to ourselves, all right?
I mean, it seems like a pretty exclusive get together. Aren't we going to draw attention to ourselves by even being there?
Yeah, do we need masks or what?
Especially one of us, and I kind of point at Alex.
That's another thing that we need to be concerned about. This is something that, look, we're already in over our heads. We haven't even walked through the front door. So just look, if you want to get high, I've got plenty of stuff on me for that to get the job done. But you need to be prepared. That's what I'm saying. And Cormac will take one more hit. Offer it to anybody.
Does anybody accept Cormac's offer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm all right.
Pepto doesn't work. This might.
Okay.
Good lad.
Go ahead,
I
go ahead and make another 2d10 roll. Add your fortitude.
I again take distinct note of Alex making these decisions.
This has a little extra in it.
Sure it does.
Yes, it does.
14 total.
14. You cough a bit as you exhale, and the coughing upsets your stomach, but it's not a repeat of the shop just yet.
It's all right.
And do you all go inside?
Yeah.
Before we go in, I look over to Alex. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah. Just, I don't know. Might have been some bad noodles or something.
No, something happened earlier. If you're going to be throwing up all over the place, it's going to be just as bad as Blondie here having a panic attack.
I'll be fine.
All right.
Professor Jones, these do seem like a variety of inconveniences that might make things difficult for everybody. You start to wonder, and maybe your thoughts are influenced by what was asked of you earlier. Is the party really worth it? Is it going to be helpful?
I mean, I don't know. We don't know who sent us here. And whoever it was had an idea, but clearly wasn't important enough for us to find out who this was. I don't know.
Do you express these thoughts to the group?
Yeah, and I'll ask, I guess, more about what they found specifically, if they found anything.
Alex, Audrey, Cormac, do you share the events of your day?
Cormac summarizes his day as Tori and I had a meeting, and that's where I got this information. That's as far as I go.
All right. The others?
Alex is not saying a thing.
Audrey doesn't say anything either, but she's looking very intently at Professor Jones, almost like she has additional information.
Professor, if you'd like to parse out the additional information, you can roll and add your intuition.
I would like to do that. I mean, I thought we were all on the same team here. Everybody's got a bunch of secrets.
don't even think we're all playing the same sport here.
This is Kult, right? We're playing Kult? Is that what we're doing?
They got 15.
Okay. It's pretty clear that Audrey had more go on today than she's letting on right now.
Okay. I mean, you guys take whatever you want and go inside. I'm going to have a smoke real quick, I guess. And I'm going to step over to the side, and I'm just going to motion for Audrey to come with.
I will.
Okay. Alex, Cormac, do you two head inside ahead of them?
I think Cormac would probably wait for them to finish their sidebar, and he kind of figures that they're having a wee little conversation off in the boonies, where Audrey wouldn't be embarrassed about whatever she's about to say. So Cormac's gonna be respectful and let her have her space for that.
Okay, so you're not going all the way inside to the party.
No, not yet.
But you are stepping away so they can have their conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that I'm just about to start to taste colors, so if he doesn't go, then I'm going to wait here.
That's fair. And so Professor Jones and Audrey have a moment before you all head in.
I don't actually smoke. It just seemed like a good excuse.
Oh,
Bad for you.
I don't smoke either.
Yeah. So today was a wash. You didn't really get anything out of it.
We got another address. Noah was getting stuff shipped somewhere. Like, stuff.
We didn't think that might be a better lead than some weird sex party.
Well, I don't know. He seemed pretty into those by the end, too.
I mean, at the end of the day, we go in there, roll of the dice, we find the girl in the picture, roll of the dice, she wants to talk to us. I kind of feel like an address might be a better lead, right?
I mean, maybe. If we find the girl, that's a pretty good lead, though. And I have found that, like, yelling at people has sort of worked for getting stuff from them lately.
Yeah, it is a good way to get the most out of people. Are you going to be all right in there?
Well, I suppose that really depends how literal the words carnival of flesh are.
Yeah, that can go any direction, couldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this could be just a shitty college party with the best booze, or this could be not that.
I've been to college parties. It's usually don't need to go through some weird back channel to get in. You know, maybe a fraternity or something, but somebody that can't be named, it's a little
Maybe
weird.
this is like a higher up party, like a middle managers for drug dealers.
I'm just I don't fully trust Irish over there.
And Audrey kind of leans in real conspiratorially and is like, I don't trust Alex.
But you gotta figure he at least wants to find his brother, right?
I mean, yeah, that's sort of why we're still hanging out together, but like, apparently he started having dreams last night, like dreams.
So you're saying it runs in the family then?
Yeah. And like,
So-
I'm wondering if maybe we just kind of let Alex do what he's gonna do. He's just gonna fall down the same wormhole as Noah, but if we have a leash on him, then we can follow him.
It's not a bad idea. And he already took whatever Cormac was offering, so
Mm-hmm.
it might be a little
And
bit
is having-
looser.
and is having sex dreams in my apartment.
Well, that's your fault for having strange men over.
I know.
Yeah, let's keep a leash on Alex, and maybe we can stay out of things a little bit and watch from afar. And then follow up on that second address.
Yeah, I figure you and I hang back at the party. If there's nothing here, then we can take off.
I think that's a good idea.
I think you might be the only one here who actually has like a stable frame of mind right now.
I'm the only one here with a stable job, so
That's basically the same thing.
we'll be all right.
Okay.
And then I'll head back over, pretending to flick a cigarette that I didn't smoke.
Okay.
With no smoke and no nothing.
But Cormac was being polite, so
Such
I
good
imagine he won't say
liars.
anything. And the four of you walk inside. There's no signs or anything, but you can hear music, and so it's after a bit of walking up some stairs, down some halls, you can find the location of the party. And the music is throbbing behind the door. It's very loud. It's overwhelming, even with the door closed. Do you open the door?
Cormac kind of takes one last look at everybody. All right, last chance. If you're in, you're in. This is the last stop. All right.
Sure.
How you feeling, Alex?
Yes.
Good. Cormac holds his breath for a moment, closes his eyes, steels himself, opens them, lets go of his breath that he's been holding, and opens the door, leads them in.
Okay. Before you all step in, could you all please roll 2d10 and add your soul?
Oh, good. Oh, fuck.
It's just a party.
This is a special demon sex party.
10 total?
Okay.
14.
Okay.
Brennan probably got snake eyes based on that reaction.
5.
Ooh.
On 2 dice, I managed to get 0.
on a d10, that would be 10, wouldn't it?
No, I have a 1 and a 1, and then I have
And then
minus 2 to
Minus
soul.
2.
So, okay. You all step in and are immediately overwhelmed by a vibrant, colorful light that hits you all square in the eyes. The room is bathed in it. As the light fades, your eyes adjust. You're not quite sure which one it is. You see that it's a very, very spacious area, but it is full. People are packed in, grinding against one another to the music. They're just partying, having the time of their lives. Various states of dress and undress. There's drinks. There's smoke. You're not sure if it's a fog machine or if it's from something that somebody smoked, but it's there. It's adding to the ambiance. Everybody seems very just lost in it. And on the wall behind everybody, there's a projector that's going through pictures, sort of timed to the music, but not quite. And they're all par for the course here. People making out, naked people. There's bondage. There's so much. And you see very easily why this is called the Carnival of Flesh. Because this is just a open area of debauchery. It's a little difficult to move through at first, as there are just so many people. But nobody seems to be approaching you with intent just yet. You have, after all, just arrived, and everybody seems pretty preoccupied. You're all moving through. Professor Jones, the more that you look around, the more drawn to all of this you feel. It's seeming to seep in the way that earlier did, filling the cracks a bit. There's a bit of feeling of completeness here, and there is a want here. And there's just so much to engage in, so much to have. Audrey, where Professor Jones sees intrigue, you see threat. Things are unnerving. How many people there are here. Every motion seems like it could be hostile. And you all look around and look up, and for a brief moment, Audrey, Professor Jones, the lights that move forward burn your eyes again. Yellow. A familiar in your mind yellow. Like you've seen it in a vision yellow. Before the lights keep moving. You continue to explore the party. How would you like to go about exploring the party? What would you like to find? There is just about anything you want here.
Despite everything that's going on in my head right now, I would like to try and stick with the original plan.
Go ahead and roll 2d10 and add coolness to act under pressure.
Okay.
Actually, no. Add your willpower to keep it together.
I had that exact same thought, but I'm on drugs, so
You're okay right now, Alex. Like you're not like, ready to party, but you're not like averse from everything. You're just okay. There's a lot going on here.
And do I have -2 from being shooketh?
Let's look at your disadvantages. Not yet.
Okay. I got 19 plus my willpower.
Yes. Oh, okay. And actually, since you're in there, you do have -1 to that.
So my willpower. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, so +0. So just 19.
Okay. You're able to stick to the plan for now. So what would you all like to do?
Well, if we manage to stay together, like upon the initial entry, I'm going to try to bring everyone together so I can be heard over the everything. All right, I'm going to see if I can figure out who the host is. I need you all, if you're going to be here to do what we need to do, I need you all to stick with me and don't get distracted, all right? Alex, I want you to put your hand on my shoulder and just stick with me at all times. You got me? All right. So
it's thumbs up.
All right, so just stick with me and I'll see if I can figure out who's in charge here. And as a note here, storyteller,
yes.
Like if I were to rate the usual party that I frequent at like a 5, where would this fall?
8.
Okay. Okay.
Could be worse.
Not bad. All right, so usually in these kinds of parties, you can figure out who the people in charge are by where the drugs are coming from, who seems to be keeping close over by where the music's coming from. You can always see over scanning the crowd where the clumps of the important people are. And so I'm going to try to do that right now and just survey and try to get a feel for the place. You know what? Cormac's high. It would probably stand to reason that we might give enhanced awareness another go.
I was going to say, between that and prepared, yeah, go ahead and roll and add your soul into it.
Okay. Oh, that's bad. 6.
Cormac tells you all the plan. He turns and immediately just kind of goes slack-jawed as he's taken in by the debauchery and the partying.
Debauchery.
Cormac, this is... Maybe it's more of a 9 than an 8. There's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of fascinating, eager people here.
Is she,
not just from a work perspective, from a personal perspective.
Is she here?
You haven't seen her yet. But to be honest, there's so many people, who knows? It's a little hard to tell. It's a little hard to tell, though, as you're focusing on all the dancers. There's a moment, though, as you're focusing on the dancers, people are grinding and twisting together. You almost swear that they're intertwining too tightly, as if arms are wrapping together in ways that bones don't bend. People are twisting around each other almost like a corkscrew. And you can't tell if it's the drugs or the intensity of the party, but things seem warped and crooked. And for the rest of you, Cormac is definitely off the plan that he told you about not 20 seconds ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that lasted.
So
I am not following him off that particular cliff, so I'm gonna let go of his shoulder and just like look around for that particular woman.
Okay.
If I can find her.
Go ahead and roll and add your perception. Cormac, you've been released. Are you going to hang around?
Maybe I'm starting to this whole lurking about Noah and his brother. Things are maybe I'm starting to get a little intrigued at how all these bodies are moving together, and there's a part of him that's disgusted, and there's another part of him that wants to join in and see how he fits into the system. But I'm going to turn around and I'm maybe going to recommend maybe we go over here, and that's when I maybe catch Alex, and then I'm reminded why we're actually here, and I'm gonna stick by the group. It's going to be really difficult for me to stay focused here, but I'm gonna stick with the group. That's why we're here.
I love where your mind is going with this. That would be great if they were there when you turned around.
Excellent
Instead
rug
of
pull.
Instead of the wall of
That was an
people.
awesome rug pull.
Instead of the wall of people who you're not quite sure when they moved in, or maybe you moved. Somebody moved. You don't remember moving, but
At this point, it's
you're
irrelevant. Yeah.
and you're in the mix of it. Alex, what was your perception roll? And was anybody else looking for the woman?
It was a 12 on the roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look out for the woman.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
I bet the prof is going to look for the woman.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I will. And I will find her. It's plus what?
Plus your perception.
Uh, 16.
Okay. You're looking around. It is very difficult to discern people here. You're not seeing her, but Professor Jones and Audrey in particular, you do notice something else. It's on the wall for a second with the projector, and then it's gone. You swore that the gagged man in the previous picture on the wall was Noah,
I mean, yeah.
but you didn't get a good look at it. Maybe it was somebody similar. But definitely looked like him. Audrey, how are you feeling?
Rough.
Probably use a
Rough.
drink.
Yeah. But I don't know that I want to drink anything from here.
There does seem to be an actual bar station with bartender. It's not just a kegger.
With sealed drinks?
You'd have to get closer to see, but it does look like it's not just, some guy with drinks on a table handing them out.
All right, then I will go take a look at that.
Okay, away from the other two?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sticking by her because that was the plan.
Okay. So Audrey walks towards the bar. Professor Jones, with your role, I'll say it's pretty easy to catch on to her and follow. And then Alex, you turn around to tell them that you can't see anything and they're not there.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just more people. There's just a smell of sweat and body odor as everybody's dancing. Can you go ahead and make that roll and add your fortitude again?
Alrighty. I'm going to yak on somebody. It's going great. Oh, maybe I won't. That is an 11 and the
Don't
fortitude.
make a scene, he said.
Right.
Where'd my fortitude go? +1, so it's 12.
Okay. Yeah, you're not going to throw up on anybody, but the smells are dizzying and you're getting a little bit lightheaded and you sort of sway, bumping into a couple of people who are not wearing tops.
Sorry.
And they take it a little more invitationally, and they're like leaning up against you, dancing, as you're trying to sort of right yourself.
Sorry.
Audrey, you make it over to the bar. They do have sealed drinks and actual bottles. There's quite a few people around the bar. Some of them are drinking. A couple of them are just making out against the bar. You have to sort of elbow your way in.
Does the bartender look sober?
Yeah, as far as you can tell. Looks
Okay.
distracted.
Well, I mean, because there's a big difference between drunk person bartending and a bartender bartending for the most part.
Right. No, this seems to be a bartender bartending.
All right. So yeah, I'll kind of elbow my way up and in.
Okay. And yeah, he's just sort of pointing at people. You're among 5 other people that he points at. It seems to be a very order quick type deal.
Sorry, can I talk to you for a second?
He just like kind of points at everybody. What's up?
I'm looking for someone. I was supposed to meet someone here.
Who?
And I'm gonna open my cell phone and find a photo of me and Noah, which I'm sure I have.
He goes, maybe. Can I get you anything?
Yeah, I'll have a tangerine White Claw.
Sure. Yeah, and he's like, he starts making the drinks. You can tell that he's like sort of focused, like he's trying to think. Like it looks like maybe that face looked familiar, but he can't seem to quite place it, or he's too busy working.
Okay.
Professor, as this is happening, the people that are making out against the bar sort of shift a bit to the left, and they're pushing up against you.
Yeah, I'll just keep that moving down the line.
So you're gonna just let it go past you?
Yeah.
Okay.
just kind of guide them.
It goes past
Like
you, and Audrey,
like
they're against you now. Yeah, and Audrey, they're against you now.
Oh, no, thank you.
And as you move, like you feel fingertips just sort of graze against your upper arm as they continue to slide down the line from the minor momentum given to them.
Yeah, I've had enough today.
And the bartender, he's handing drinks back really fast, and he's like, "Here you go," and he reaches to give you the drink. I hear.
I'll take it.
Okay. And you reach out, you grab it, your hand brushes his, pricks a little bit as you feel the metal hooks kind of tack into your fingertips as you take the drink. But it's a tangerine White Claw, just like you ordered.
I'm gonna have a glance at my hand real quick.
It's holding a tangerine White Claw.
Okay. I mean, there's probably a lot of drug smoke in here.
Is that how it works?
I don't know. I don't
Cormac, how are you
go to
feeling?
these kind.
Cormac is Cormac's feeling pretty damn good. Cormac's a little occupied at the moment with a few people.
How awkward of a moment.
Yeah, he's thoroughly occupied.
Got your hands full.
Oh yeah, hand, mouth. Yeah, he's busy.
And while this is going on, the images are on the screen, on the wall, are still going by. And one of them goes, "Oh my God, I know that guy." And as you look right before it goes by, it's that picture that the others thought was Noah.
Can I attempt to snap out of whatever I'm in here?
Go ahead and roll to keep it together.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Keep it together is what stat again?
Willpower.
Thank you.
You should just rename that "Keep Your Shit Together."
Yeah.
Right.
It's basically what it is.
It's a 12.
You're still, like, your hands are still moving, but your head is more in the game.
Holy. That was that. Oh, that was him. Hold on.
You know him too?
Yeah,
He's so fun.
Hold on a second. Yeah. All right. Now, where do you know him from?
He was one of these. I don't know, like a week ago?
Last week.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen him around?
Hard to forget. What?
Have you seen him around?
Like since then?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, you know,
No, stop. Yeah.
we,
All right.
we got our time with him when I did see him. So maybe he needed a reprieve.
Really? No. Yeah, because I've been looking for him for a minute. He's a friend of mine from school, and he's
Ooh.
been
Like a friend or like a friend?
a little column A, a little column B. Yeah.
And she leans uncomfortably close to you, like cheek against your cheek, and she goes, "I pegged him against a bar," and starts laughing.
No, yeah, you know, he seems to have been kind of into that here lately. Yeah, like so like how spicy are we talking here? Like, are we like so like?
Have you not been pegged before, man? You don't know what I'm talking?
Well,
Do you
I
wanna be?
mean, not right now. I'm a little like I'm more busy. Like, no, I really don't want. No, not right now. Look, yeah, that wasn't a suggestion. No. Look, I'm just a little occupied. I really gotta get. I really gotta find him, and it's been a little bit of a. It's kind of important, actually. All right, he's got a brother. Yeah,
Does he?
Yeah, he's got a brother, and his brother's looking for him right now, and I got his brother good and primed. Maybe that's an option, if that's something that that's not my particular scene, but like. Have you seen him here yet tonight?
No, not yet. I mean, like there, yeah. She points back at the wall, but like there, but now.
Do you go to those kind of scenes?
She just kind of like waves around.
Well, I mean, you know what? Like, did the two of you play privately?
It's kind of hard to do anything privately here, man.
But not like outside of here. You didn't.
Oh no, I just met him last week.
Oh, just last week. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey.
Yeah, here at the bar.
Yeah, where you pegged him. Now, if you see him, no, seriously, no. Later. No, if you happen to see him floating around, let him know that Cormac and Alex are looking for him. Aye.
Okay.
All right, you go have fun, lass.
Okay. Alex, how are you doing?
Probably very confused at the moment.
Very confused, bodies all around.
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Are you trying to get out of this, or are you
Trying to look at where everybody else went.
Okay, go ahead and roll and add your perception.
Ooh, an 18.
18.
21
managed,
total.
Okay, yeah, you managed to spot Audrey and Ozzy over near the bar.
Ladies, sorry. He kind of smushes them together.
They're into it. They immediately forget about you.
And then I go to where Audrey and the professor are.
Yeah, there's some more like squeezing through people, but you do manage to make it over there. And Audrey, Ozzy, Alex joins you.
Looks like you made it out.
Yeah. What are we doing here again? Right. Noah.
The woman.
Yeah, her too. Have any of you seen her?
No, but we did see your brother all over the projector over there.
The Titantron?
One could call it that.
Have I seen that photo though?
Not yet.
Okay.
I've been kind of keeping an eye on it this whole time. Do I get a sense that it's just on a loop?
It's randomized.
Oh, it's randomized. You might have to wait a while, but it'll probably come back. I mean, you can take my word for it. I'm sure you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Why don't we just find the laptop it's connected to? Those projectors aren't usually Bluetooth. It should be wired into something.
Now you're thinking like a secret agent.
So the picture's over there. The projector's over. I'm going to look for where the projector kind of should be.
Ceiling.
Is there any cord going to it?
Up into the ceiling.
We follow the cord back down to wherever it connects.
That'll take some looking around the room. You're more than welcome to, though.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll plus your perception.
13.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead. You're gonna go ahead and add one more. We're gonna call it your instinct advantage there.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. We're gonna add +1 onto it. You don't have to roll again.
Oh, my bad. 14 then.
Okay. There's a handful of wires you get a little bit lost in, but you do spot like what seems to be like a DJ like station. It's not really like a set booth, but it's a DJ station. It would make sense that the projector would be controlled where the lights are controlled, where the music is controlled.
Is there a DJ in that booth?
Yeah. Well, it's not. Yeah. But he's occupied with like actually mixing the music.
All right. I'm going to approach the booth.
Okay. Are the other two following?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will confidently flash my faculty ID badge as though it were a police badge and just kind of wave off the DJ as I start browsing through the computer.
Charlotte,
I'd like for you to roll. I'd like you to roll and add your charisma.
Add your don't give a fuck rating. Faculty.
Can I get a dominate roll?
Please, I'm faculty. Hold on, I just have to put it into the roller. I don't have dice here. Plus charisma?
Yes.
Oh, nice. That's 20.
The DJ is very confused, but you act with such authority that he just sort of like moves more towards the mixer and away from the laptop.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't worry about it. And I should have free range of the laptop to look around.
Yeah, and like the program is actually up. That's like randomizing the photos. You could very easily access the folder that all the photos are in.
Yeah, I mean we've seen pictures at this point. I guess I'd be more looking for clues of who owns the laptop, where the pictures are from. If there's any like I don't know. Do digital cameras still have the
there's EXIF data
and time?
There's EXIF data.
There's data, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and just call this adding your reason in. So 2d10 plus your reason, because there's no real tech roll for this, and that's a pretty specific thing.
Yeah.
As he's scrolling through them and stuff, I also want to keep an eye out for the woman in any of the photos, preferably a better photo of her.
Okay.
It's reason, so that's 17.
Okay. You can't really figure out the like where the photos are from. You see who owns the laptop, and it's not a name that you recognize. It's pretty easy to access those settings just from the start menu. Even.
Is it an obviously fake name?
No, it's an obviously generic name though. It's not something that seemed to connect to anything so far. It could be the person running the party. It could just be the DJ. You get the sense, though, that all of these photos were taken here as you look through the photos and start to see like recurring background. So it's quite possible the photos were just taken by whoever was already here.
Okay. I'll just it's a generic name, but I'll just throw it into the old Google search and see if I can get anything. You
get probably hundreds of pages of options.
Go figure. There's a lot of John Smiths.
And Audrey, so far you're not seeing the woman. You do see the photo more clearly of Noah, though.
Great.
And yeah, there was definitely a ball gag in there. And his chest appears to be cut. But it looks very specific and methodic, like part of knife play. And there's a look in his eyes that you haven't quite seen. It's just this wild excitement. It's uncomfortable. And Alex, if you're looking over with Audrey, you see this image of your brother with an expression that he's never had before around you.
You said that the cuts are like kind of deliberate.
Yeah, they're deliberate. It doesn't look like he's like wounded. It looks like it looks like knife play. It looks like this is part of the kink that seems to be so prevalent here.
Do I see anything as we scroll through these pictures that kind of relate to some of the imagery that was written in the notebook or in the essay?
Some in the journal, you do see some things that seem to reflect the same sort of lifestyle in the journal. Did you look at the laptop when Tori and Cormac were looking through the photos?
They were the only two.
They were the only two.
And Cormac's not over here. Okay. So then, yeah, that's all you get so far. It seems similar to the lifestyle. But again, it's all taking place here.
Mm-hmm.
And could all three of you roll me roll an add your perception. And Cormac, go ahead and roll an add your perception as well if you're trying to find them. If not, then don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, Cormac's done playing.
And you can go ahead. No, actually, yeah, no, that's it.
It's 11 for me.
Okay.
22.
8.
14.
8. Cormac, you don't see them, but Alex and Professor Jones, you do see Cormac out there. Audrey, you see Cormac, and your hand sort of like slips a little bit on the table, and your hand's on paper flyer.
Look at it.
Okay. It seems to be a flyer for a party, another party, with another similarly edgy kind of name. This one is called 120 Hours of Sodom. The thing that stands out to you the most, though, is the address.
Oh, God.
It is that address.
Fuck.
And what were the dates on this 2-day party?
Yeah. Exactly. 30 minutes from now.
It is later this week.
And I just kind of reach out and tap Professor Jones, but like real quick, like she doesn't want to have to make this physical contact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's our address.
Well, I guess there's a connection. We didn't find the girl. We didn't find the boy. But at least we know that your address is legit.
Noah's getting stuff shipped there. Maybe he's hosting.
Could already be there.
We should go.
Yeah, I think we've gotten everything we can out of here. Before we get sucked in.
That's all.
Speaking of getting sucked in, Cormac's over there.
Did
And
we
you all,
try to get
you all
him?
see him still.
You can see he's trying to get his bearings in the sea of giggity that he got himself stuck in.
I will say that all three of you can tell the difference at this point. That Cormac looks like he's trying to find his way out as opposed to find his way in like he was earlier.
Throw him like a life preserver or something, like into the sea of humanity.
You ever see a litter of puppies and one of them doesn't learn to walk until the last?
Yep.
Are you going to retrieve Cormac before you head out if you are following the words of Professor Jones here?
I'll leave that up to his classmate.
Alex, are you going to go retrieve him?
Fine.
Okay. And Cormac, you feel a hand on your upper arm, and right as you're about to swat her away, saying, "No, thank you, I'm
I'm
I don't
done.
need anymore." It's Alex.
It's me.
Oh, thank God. All right, I'm.
Pull up your pants. Let's go.
God damn it!
Your pants are still up. They have been unzipped though at some point, and you did not do that.
No, I didn't put one on before we came in either, so this is going to be a problem later. Zip up my pants. All right. So what you got? Do you have something?
Yeah, there was a flyer. We got another address. So give your balls a tug and let's go.
All right, sounds good.
Right. And Alex will lead Cormac out to the others. And are you all going to share your information in here or outside?
Outside.
Outside.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all push your way through. It feels a little more suffocating trying to leave than it did trying to get in. You all feel just hands against you on your way out. Some of them feel sharper than others as they graze past you. You feel a tug to stay. Alex, make me one more roll adding your fortitude.
All right. Now is not the time to fuck up. 12 and the fortitude is 13.
All right. That lightheadedness just sort of hits you as you sort of sway back with everybody else, but you're with your group and manage to stay out. That feeling in your stomach has not left, and it's cramping something fierce. But you all manage to get out into the hallway, walking out towards the front door. Where I'm at. Are you all sharing the information that you came upon in this club?
Yeah.
We can assume that bit then.
Mm-hmm.
You all have an address and a time frame for a party. Now, is the plan to go when the party is, or are you trying to do some covert action?
Covert.
You know this group well enough. We're gonna be
Scooby-Doo.
Okay. Then you'll have to coordinate on when you want to go. This is later in the week, but it's not that much later in the week. It's maybe like a day or two out from where we are. And you may have to coordinate with Tori. Yeah, if you want to go tomorrow, you can. You'll have to coordinate with Tori on that one if you want to bring her along.
Yeah, I'll.
Do we know?
Yeah, where is Lady Ice Cream?
She had another gig lined up. Parties like not like kind of like this. They all have hosts and whatnot. She had to work as a host tonight.
I assume your friend informed her that was the case?
Yeah. So
by friend you meant boss.
I wouldn't go that far to. That's kind of a formality that I'm not willing to add to the relationship.
Is it how he'd describe it?
Does he tell you what to do when you do it?
He would probably think of me more as I'm not an employee. I'm more as a convenient lackey.
So your boss.
Sure. But he sent her out to go host, and I got put in charge of taking point here to see what we could find. So
why does your boss care what we find?
Well, look, as I said, people going missing's bad for the scene. So consider me a vested third party, but I've got personal skin in the game. Noah was a friend of mine. It goes beyond work. He was a good,
I get it.
He was a good guy.
You're the good drug dealer.
I'm more of a provider than anything.
Really? Because yesterday, you and Tori weren't friends with Noah. You didn't even know him all that well. But today, you're friends with him, and your boss cares where he is.
And you mentioned
Why?
I threw up.
Look, the whole that separation that needs to be there. I needed to make sure that everyone was on the level and that there wasn't any funny business about. Look, there are people attached to these kinds of scenes that you don't go to the cops about. And that's kind of where things are sitting. All right? So, look, quite frankly, if someone did go to the cops about Noah, then if the cops are done, that's the end of it. That's where the buck stops. But look, he's missing. And I look to Alex, and you aren't gonna let this go until it's done one way or the other. Right?
Right.
So consider me a resource that you don't normally have access to through law enforcement, all right?
Suppose. So I won't go asking about any of your personal business. Don't be asking about any of mine. We've got a vested interest in our lad. And that's also where the buck stops. And you can take my explanation or not, but that's where things sit.
Well, I don't trust any of this, but there's not really another option, so I guess we are where we are.
That's fair.
But lie to me again, Cormac. See what happens.
Cormac's definitely cognizant of the fact that Audrey means business, and you know that it's sincere. He's not just placating you. He's taking you seriously.
Okay.
And with all the information exchanged and pecking order established, the night winds down for you all. Cormac will head home. Professor Jones will head home. Alex will head back to Audrey's. Alex, you're still not feeling so great, so
I am not.
It's right onto the couch for you to lay it down and hopefully sleep it off as Audrey heads back into her room.
Make sure he has like a waste basket next to him or something.
Sounds good. First things first. Alex, can you roll me 2d10?
Alrighty.
Yes.
That is a nice solid 7.
Excellent.
I don't think that's excellent.
You do drift off to sleep. And it's a similar dream to the previous night. The same imagery from Noah's paper. But as the woman sort of drifts over you, you feel something a bit more. It's that cramping pain in your abdomen from when you're awake. It seems to have followed you here. And it's intensifying. The more that this woman folds you in, the harsher the pain in your stomach.
How is that? Right, like I'm thinking, like, how is that not waking me up? Like this really fucking hurts.
It just twists and knots. If you want to attempt to wake up, we'll keep going. If you want to attempt to work within the parameters of the dream,
You to try to work within the parameters.
go ahead and make a 2d10 and add your soul.
That one is not much better. That is an 8, but I get to add my 1 soul, so 9.
Ooh.
You feel too hazed by this pain to make sense of the location that you're in. And the pain is rising. It's rising. As you put your hands on your stomach, to press it down, see if you can push it away, you swear that it's pressing right back at you. And it's getting harder to breathe. Harder to breathe. And right as you feel that all of the air is about to leave, you take one last gasp and wake up with Audrey standing over the couch, looking very confused.
Are you okay?
You're
No.
not okay, and you're going to take 1 wound.
Ouch. I don't think so. Am I still feeling that level of?
It's not as intense, but the stomach pain is still very much there, and you can actually feel yourself trying to catch your breath as if you were unable to breathe for a while.
No?
You're making all these noises and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to the hospital?
Probably should.
Okay, I mean, you have Uber on your phone, right?
That's wow. Wow. I don't think I'll be able to make it by myself.
Look. And Audrey kind of leans a little closer, but not like too close. We can go to the hospital. We can do that. But whatever's wrong with you, I mean, do you think they're going to be able to treat it? What if Cormac gave you something? Or what if it's whatever was happening to Noah?
Well, if clearly what Noah was doing did not work.
We don't know that. I haven't found him yet.
I mean, does it look in the pictures like what he did worked?
I guess that depends on what your hopeful outcome was.
Could be, I don't know, kidney stones or something.
Could be.
The pain is starting to die down a little bit, and you feel yourself having caught your breath a bit more. You're feeling kind of sweaty on your face, but you're able to breathe at this point.
I don't know, maybe it was just a dream. I'm feeling a little better.
Okay.
This is fucked up.
Yeah. This is really fucked up. And I don't know what we're looking for, and I don't know what we're going to find.
Neither do I. But we gotta find him.
I know.
Thank you.
Don't worry about it. Try to sleep off whatever this is.
Yeah. And we're gonna go up, get the Pepto-Bismol, and put it on the coffee table, and then go back. Try to get some sleep.
Okay. And Audrey, do you head back to your room?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to try to get some sleep as well?
Gonna try.
What do you do with the plastic bag that was in your hand that you were hiding from Alex?
Oh, I just ball that up real small and hide it right back in my purse.
You put it in your purse, and you see it's right next. You put it right next to that flyer from 120 Hours of Sodom. And there's an envelope in your purse.
Well, I'm gonna check that.
You open it up. Can you roll 2d20 and add your willpower?
13.
You stifle any major reaction. You do manage to keep it together, but you see inside the envelope a couple of printer paper photos of you and Noah. In that brief interim window between when everything was normal and when everything got out of hand, just about when it was feeling interesting and adventurous. When you were uncertain about the things that you were trying, but you would for him. And there it is in pretty clear detail. And on the bottom of one of the pictures is scrawled in marker, "Don't look."
Put the photos back in the envelope. Very calm. Close the envelope. Just put it all back in my purse.
And Professor Jones, you're back home. You're getting ready for bed. You're taking off your jacket. You feel something in your pocket. You reach in, you pull it out, and you don't remember having a Sharpie on you. But you do. And as you look at it, confused, you hear the faintest of voices just in your ear.
Remember our agreement, Ozymandias. Or I will have to fulfill it myself.
And that's where we're going to call Act 2. I'd like to thank my players for engaging. I'd like to thank you, the audience, for watching. We're going to go around and let everybody tell you what they're up to. Samantha's links are going to be in the sidebar. We're looking forward to having her back in full for Act 3. For now, we'll start with Brennan.
Hi, I'm Brennan. I may or may not be in some sort of relationship with the devil. Those are my links. Looking forward to seeing how this goes next week.
And now to Patrick.
Hi, Patrick Gill, creative director at Martlet Games. That's my social. My link tree is over in the chat. You can go see all of the relevant Martlet stuff there. As an aside, consent is key in when you play. Always. Consent is key.
This has been your PSA.
Yes. We've got all sorts of stuff popping off since time is a social construct. I don't know when our stuff is going to be on with this, so London's bleeding. We've got a Stars Without Number thing that Zach is in that is on our channel somewhere. Tons of stuff. Love you all. See you next week.
And now to Lex.
Hi, I'm Lex. I was Audrey, keeper of the plastic bags. You can see me around. I do the things. I do the stuff and the what have yous. I probably either currently have or just recently had a limited series Sabbat Chronicle that was running on Gehenna Gaming. Check that out. It was super, super fun. Everyone's an awful horny chaos goblin in it. Do not miss it. Not horny like this. Like way less than this, and they're Sabbat, so. Otherwise, you can find me online. I do all the socials. You can find me as a redhead vixen on Instagram, Twitter, OnlyFans, all that good stuff. And that is it for me.
And now Steve.
And I'm Steve, ordinarily the storyteller around these parts, but yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff. Mike, like Patrick said, time is a construct, so it's everything's around here somewhere. Just follow the links, whatnot. Follow the page. Head over to our YouTube where this is going to end up sooner or later. And yeah, give us a follow and keep an eye on stuff that we probably have a bunch of special projects coming up. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
And I've been your storyteller, Zachary Vaudo. This is my Twitter handle, and links are over there. You can find me on ATL by Night when we air on Tuesdays. You can find me on Adjacent by Night with everybody here, plus Sam, whenever we're back. Maybe we're back already. Time is a construct after all. You can find me on the aforementioned Sabat game that Lex ran, whenever that airs, along with Samantha. You can find me participating in Virtual HorrorCon over the summer. You can find me wherever tabletop games are played. Thank you all. We'll see you next time, once we fall again.